everyone, welcome back to Virtual Summer Camp with Midland Center for the Arts. This week we are going to be exploring the magic of STEM. I even have my little wizard wands necklace trying to get into the spirit of the theme. And today I'm going to show you how to transfigure some ingredients like heavy whipping cream into a frozen tasty treat that you can do right at home. So to participate in this experiment, you're going to need 2 gallon size freezer bags, 1 quart size Ziploc bag, a cup and tablespoon measures, sugar, vanilla, heavy cream. You can also use whole milk or 2%, but I've had the best results with the heavy whipping cream. Some ice cream salt. So if you haven't guessed it, we're making ice cream. This is very coarse rock salt that you can get at your local grocery store. Just make sure you're using the food safe one and not the kind that you would put on your driveways when it's icy. And then you also need a big bowl of ice to get us started. All right, so first thing I'm gonna have you guys do is add a 1/2 cup of whipping cream to your smaller quart size bag. Okay, shake it out a little bit. Set that aside. Then you're gonna get a tablespoon of your sugar and add that in. And then a 1/4 teaspoon, so this really small one here, of vanilla. You can also use, if you have at home, some mint extract and chocolate chips. That would make a really delicious mint chocolate chip ice cream. But we're just going with classic vanilla today. It's a good standby flavor. But if you try this at home and want to experiment a little bit with your recipe, please do and share it with us. Let us know what you came up with. All right, I'm pressing this against me right now just to move some of the air bubbles out. You want to make sure you get as much air out of that bag as possible and then seal it very tight because we don't want any of our ice cream, which this will turn into, to get out. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to take one of my gallon size bags and tuck it into the other. And this is a step that I learned from experience. This is actually the second time I'm filming this. The first time I only used 1 bag and it broke. So campers, learn from my mistakes and use 2 bags. If it does spill, it's just ice and salt, so it'll be okay to clean up, but I like to keep the cleanup as minimal as we can. So then you're gonna take your ice and put it inside your bag. And then you're gonna add your rock salt. We're gonna add 6 tablespoons. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm gonna hold this up to the camera so you guys can see that is a much coarser grain of salt than like the regular table salt we'd sprinkle on our French fries. Okay, so that's all in. I'm gonna set my measuring cups aside and my salt, and then I'm not gonna seal it. I'm gonna put my ice cream in. So I'm gonna tuck my ice cream right in that ice and get it really good in there, and then I'm going to seal both of my gallon size bags. So I have a double protective layer. All right, and now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this bag, I suggest folding it over even one more time, and then you're gonna shake it, just like that. And you're gonna do that for 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do that because that's boring. I did do it earlier and it works, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But first I wanna talk about a little of the science that's happening here in our transfiguration lesson. So Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Milk or dairy products freezes at a much colder temperature, or a little colder. So the ice cubes alone won't freeze our ice cream. And if you've ever had ice cream melt and then you refreeze it, you might have noticed it gets this crystally, like freezer burn kind of taste to it. And we don't want that. We want nice, creamy, smooth ice cream, right? That's the most delicious kind. So when we add our ice cream salt to our ice, it's actually lowering the freezing point of that water or ice cubes. And it's creating an endothermic reaction. And that means this salt is absorbing the heat and making it much colder in there. So if you had a thermometer and you tested the ice before you put the salt in, and then after a few minutes of shaking, you should see that temperature much lower. So when you shake it all up, I'm gonna grab my previous experiment. You are going to get, and I suggest doing this over a sink actually, and rinsing your bag off so you don't transfer any of that salt. But for the sake of science, I'm doing it at my kitchen table. You're gonna wanna grab a bowl and a spoon, and you open it up. And I don't know if you guys can see this on film, but it's getting really icy. And you can scoop it into a bowl, and you have a nice, delicious frozen treat, which is perfect for days like today. I don't know if it's gonna be as hot when this film actually airs on our website, but it is about 90 degrees today, and it is the perfect day for homemade ice cream. So it melted a little while we were sitting here, but you can see I have good ice cream. I'm gonna put a few little sprinkles on it, and it's ready to go. So now you are a STEM wizard, and you've made a delicious treat. If you do try this at home, be sure to share with us any new flavors you come up with or how it works for you, and we'll see you next time.